Hello, and welcome to your ProService Online Electronic Onboarding Manager training. You can log into the Electronic Onboarding Manager portal using your credentials. You can also access this portal directly from your payroll system. Once you log in, you will be automatically on the Request Summary screen. You can also access this by clicking on the Request Summary option on the left. This shows you the count of new hires in each status in the system. New hires will progress from left to right as each part of the process is completed, going from incomplete to waiting for employee to e-sign, to pending manager approval, and finally to approved by admin. For status detail on a specific employee, click the Requests menu item on the left. The request screen is where you can find the name of a specific employee, the request type, and the status. The green action icon expands to provide even more detail for each employee, so you can see their progress throughout their workflow in real time. The third menu item on the left is Employees. On this screen, you will see their individual user information without any workflow details, such as their user ID and employee email address. The green gear icon on this screen will allow you to do administrative tasks like resetting an employee's password or resending their registration email. So we're ready to hire a new employee. To start electronic onboarding for a new hire, click the New Employee button at the top of your screen. This will take you to the new registration details screen. From here, you can select your workflow, enter the new hire's name, select their preferred contact method, whether it be email or mobile, we'll put in their email, ensure send registration notification to employee is checked, and it is checked by default. We'll create a unique user ID. And make sure request type is set to onboarding. And again, this is set by default. When you click continue, you will automatically send a registration email to the new hire so they can begin the onboarding process. Next, you, as the HR manager, will need to fill out some information about that employee. So you will complete what's called the employee profile. Here we can easily enter information like the new hire start date and hire date, their pay types, employee types, so we'll put hourly and part-time, non-exempt. Withholding information at the bottom of the screen should default to the W-2 automatically and should also default to your work state. If you do have divisions, branches, or departments or positions, you will see them listed and be asked to choose an option from the drop-down. We'll put in a pay rate, click Continue, And then we will also at the end choose our pay group and benefits group. Click continue and then save and exit. The new hire is now started. The employee will start completing their onboarding once they receive the registration email. And here is a copy of that. So they're instructed to click on the link, and that will direct them to the password and PIN creation screen. The top information will all be filled in. They will enter a password, and they will also enter a PIN. This PIN will be their legally binding online signature. When they click Save, it is going to take them directly to the employee portal. And by the way, this can be completed either on a computer or on their mobile phone. So this is the main employee view. We've included detailed guidance on the left-hand side with instructions and contact information in case there's any questions whatsoever. To get started, the employee will navigate to the onboarding request here and click Finish Questions. Okay, so now we are logged in as the employee and we are filling out our onboarding questions. I want you to notice that required fields must be completed, but questions that were previously answered will be pre-populated. The employee can complete the information, and when they're ready to go to the next page, they will simply click Continue Questions to move to the next page. If the employee would like to save their work, they can do that by clicking Continue Questions Later. This will allow them to save what is already finished and then come back to it at a later time. And the employee will get to the company policy sections. And this is where you can include relevant company policies, such as an employee handbook and an employment agreement. And when you do that, each of those will have to be agreed to by the employee. The very last screen the employee will see is the thank you screen. And on the thank you screen, it does tell them to click the Save and Exit button to complete their documents. When they click Save and Exit, it will compile two different PDFs. The first will be the new hires onboarding packet, and the second will be the I-9 form. I'm going to click Save and Exit, and it's going to prepare those forms and then display them to the employee for their signature. So this is what the employee sees and is asked to verify. The employer will also receive this information and be able to view that from the manager portal. And this is also what will go to ProService as well. Okay, so once the employee has reviewed their document, they will e-sign using their PIN and hit Approve. Then they're going to repeat this for the I-9. Notice when I click Approve on onboarding, the I-9 is created and displayed for signature. We'll put in our PIN there, click Approve. And we're done. This employee is now taken back to their portal screen, and they're shown that there is no more action required. Note that once an employee signs their documents, an automatic notification is sent to the manager to let them know that an employee is pending their approval. The manager will also see the count in the pending manager approval column in the request summary go up. If an employee needs to add an attachment, for example, a certification, a direct deposit voided check, maybe a resume for a background check, etc., they will need to do that by clicking on the attachments button next to the onboarding request. And they will have the option of clicking upload to upload additional documents. At this point, the employee has finished their onboarding paperwork and can simply log out of their portal. We'll go back to the manager portal here, and we'll take a look at this from the manager's perspective. So once the employee e-signs their documents, the manager can then review those forms. To review the form, you can click on Requests on the left and find the employee that needs to be approved. Your most recently completed documents will always be on top. Here we can see both the onboarding and I-9 documents for employee test. To review their forms, click on their onboarding document, the green icon next to their onboarding document. Click on the Forms tab, and then click View Forms. You will see the exact same forms that the employee saw, and we'll be able to review those. When you're finished, click the Close button to close the tab at the top of the screen. And you are ready to approve your documents. Let's go ahead and click the Approve button to do that. Notice the status will go from pending manager approval to approved by admin, and that is your goal. Now that the onboarding has been reviewed and approved, next let's approve the I-9 document. We'll click that green gear icon next to the I-9. Notice the Approve option is grayed out. If you hover over it, it will always explain or tell you why it cannot be approved right away, and it tells us the I-9 is not complete. That is correct, as we have not yet entered their two identification documents. So the manager must always go into the I-9 interview and click there in order to enter the information about those documents. We'll confirm the start date. And now we're going to choose which documents they have given us. We'll say List B and C documents. And they'll complete the approval workflow by selecting the documents here. I'll select driver's license and social in this case. We'll hit continue. And we'll just complete the approval workflow. So we're going to enter the driver's license number, state, and expiration. You'll notice that additional checkpoints are in place to make sure invalid or expired IDs are not allowed. The issuing authority for the Social Security card is almost always the Social Security Administration. We'll choose that. There is no expiration for a Social Security card. We leave that blank. And then we're going to attest that we've examined those documents. They appear to be genuine and that to the best of your knowledge, this employee is authorized to work in the U.S. We'll hit continue. On the I-9 E-Verify screen, we'll just hit continue. That does not apply to you. Continue one more time, and we're finished entering that information. Notice we're returned directly to the I-9, and that our Approve button is now available. We'll click Approve. The status will change to Approved by Admin, and approval is complete. You have totally completed approving that employee's documents. Note that both the onboarding and the I-9 must be approved by you before new hire documents are sent to ProService for entry into the payroll system.